Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and today I am going to show you something I came up with that I am calling the Buffett Billfold. It is based on something I saw Julie at Dear Julie do. She has different digitals that she has in her Etsy shop. I will link that below, and I will link this particular kit below that I used to make this. I tried to print another one of these, but my printer is not behaving, so I have some scrapbook paper. And the reason I call it a Buffett Billfold, she has something that she calls a 6-pack flip-flop, which is 6 images on a page, 2 rows of 3, and you fold it a certain way, and you glue it a certain way, and then you fold it a certain way again, and you've got what she, like I said, a 6-pack flip-flop. And I'll see if I can find one of her videos showing how to make that and link that below as well. I wanted to use one of her sheets that has 9 images on it, 3 rows of 3. And this is what I came up with. And the reason that I call it a Buffett Billfold is because it is a 6-pack flip-flop, but it also has a pop top, which reminded me of a song by Mr. Jimmy Buffett. And it says, let's see if I can remember the words. And I'm not going to sing it. I would sing it, but my throat still hurts from a biopsy that I had the day before yesterday. It is, let's see. Busted my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, got a cut on my heel, had to cruise on back home. And that just reminded me of that, so that's why I'm calling it this. And the way it works is I have this seam binding that I've used on this particular one, and you untie that, and it opens up in the 3 ways, and this would be the 6-pack part of it because this would be open on these 3 sides, but it's 6 panels, and so she calls it a 6-pack. It's a flip-flop because you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Got it? It just keeps flipping around. I added the extra step of the pop top by using the 9 panel. And I can't show you what the 9 panel looked like originally. I can show you part of it, and imagine that this part is at the top. Okay? So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels. And since I do not have another panel printed, and I do have things in each of these pockets, by the way. Since I do not have another panel printed because my printer is not speaking to my computer, I'm going to show you how to do this with just a piece of scrapbook paper. And I'm starting with a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, but I'm going to cut it down to 9 by 12 because that gives me easy measurements to work with since I don't have the lines from the digital. And to do this, you want to make sure that you're using a non-directional pattern because it's going to be going every which way whenever you fold it. Okay, so now I have a 9 by 12, and I will be, let's see, folding at 3 and at 6, and then at 4 and at 8. It's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to be the same ratio pretty much. It's just going to be a little bit bigger than that one. And I am going to go ahead and score this, although the score marks are not going to be the right way. Because normally you would fold down mountains. Let's see, yes, mountains become valleys and valleys become mountains. So you're supposed to, let's see if I can figure out how to explain this. because you're supposed to go through, and the papers that are going to be folded this way you would score on this side, because what that does is relaxes the fibers in the paper. But I'm just going to go ahead and score all of them on the one side and then work with it. I would prefer to do it the correct way, but right now I don't know what that would entail. And then here I'm going to score on the 3 all the way down, and at the 6 all the way down. And so now I have 9, let's see, compartments, I guess. Is it easier to see on that side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the way that we are going to fold this, we're going to fold this up. And this is going to be our inside, and these are going to be the flaps. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that up, and then I'm going to fold it over just to train the paper. And this one is going to fold over in this way. Now, right here, I want to cut off this fold down to here, because the flaps are going to need to go inside, and so they need to be just a little bit skinnier. So actually I can cut all of these at the same time. I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm going to come in, let's see, maybe, how much would that be? I'm looking at my ruler. I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch. I wouldn't go any further than 1/8 of an inch. And you're going to go from the outside to all the way up to where the fold is, right there. And then you're going to do that again on this side. I'm trying to figure out how to see. I can see where that is. So I'm going to go ahead and just come in about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to hold this really tight. I'm going to go down to where that score mark is. So now this is what you should have. I haven't glued this yet because you've got to do something else to the middle first. And you've got to do something else, I think, here. I'm going to have to keep referring back to this to see where to do things, because we need to get our closure enclosed before we glue it. We are going to go and cut, if I put this on here, then this one is going to be here. So I'm going to cut a slit right here on this one, and then I'm going to cut a slit right here on this one, and that's so that the ribbon can come through. And I am still cleaning, organizing, getting ready to rearrange my studio, and this is my only mat I can find. I know that I put them all together except for this one because it was too big for where I put the other ones. And that's probably the only reason I can find it right now. All right, so I am going to just cut a little slit. Let's see. I have my scrap bag right beside me, and I think that that's going to be pretty perfect. All right, so I need to see how wide this is. And I'm just going to mark on each side. I don't need it to be a really wide cut. I just need it to be a slit or an opening so that that can go through easily. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. And I need to cut on that score line where we scored the paper, because that's where the fold's going to be. And I missed it. Lovely. Okay, so let me try that again. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did. I know. I missed when I put the ribbon down. I didn't mark directly on the score line. It happens. It happens. It's nothing that can't be taken care of, right? It's just paper. There we go. And I'm going to try to do better on this one and mark on the score line, which is there, and get back up there. I'm in my own light. There. Get back on the score line and make my cut. Oh, see, you're going to get all of the finagling in here because this one here is the first time I made that. So I'm working on it still. Okay, now the next thing you're going to need to do is this piece of paper that you cut off, or a scrap piece of paper that you have. You're going to need to cover the inside of this panel where the ribbon comes through. So you want to measure that. Cut it slightly smaller so that it fits. Let's make sure that it's going to work. Oh, I think I need to shave just a little off the top. Yep, that works, just like that. All right, so you are going to take your ribbon or lace or whatever you're going to use, and you're going to go ahead and slide that through there first before you glue anything down. You want to slide it through the slit that's on this outside piece, not on the middle piece. And get your middle in the middle of that, and then just bring this over here, just like that. And then you're going to glue. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac just because it's my favorite glue, and I don't have a glue stick over here handy. Normally I would. And I would prefer that this had been two-sided printed, but like I said, my printer was not working. My two-sided papers are kind of thick. You don't want to use a heavyweight paper to do this, I don't think, because it's going to make it bulky and it's not going to fold very well. Okay, next step is going to be, let's see, not gluing your pockets. I'm going to go ahead and snip that off where I cut the two pieces because it'll be all right. Before you do your pockets, however it is that you like to make a thumb notch, I would suggest making a thumb notch. And you can actually do this, you want to do this step before you glue the ribbon or the lace or the tie or whatever you're using in, because you'll need to go through that whole piece that you just glued together. And I am punching these at 2 inches because I know each of these spaces are 4 inches. I like using my envelope punch board to make my thumb notches. I just like the way that it turns out. All right, so the next step is to glue these pockets up here. And you're going to want to thread your ribbon, lace, whatever, through this other slit. And it's obviously not going to go all the way yet, because you're going to glue this middle pocket first so that you can get this thread threaded through. So we're just going to glue on these two sides. I'll go ahead and glue this one too at the same time. You're going to hold your thread, your whatever you're using for that out of the way over here so that you can get those pockets pressed down. Now, you want to pull this all the way through, just like that. And now you can glue this third pocket down. Just like that. Now, our flaps here, we actually are going to go against the way that we, let's see, I'm trying to think. You know, I think that when you do the first set of scoring, there we go, I forgot my word. You could do it the other direction because these are all going to fold down. This direction. So you could go ahead and do that. And one of the things that I like about this is depending on what you use for backing paper, you've got journaling spot here too, and you've got your pockets. And we put that extra piece in place so that the ribbon or whatever would not interfere with putting things into your pockets. Now, to fold this, put that one down and put the closure over it. Put these two down. You're going to fold it up like that. And then you're going to wrap around once. And depending on the length of your tie, you may do it twice. I think that I have enough just to do it once. And then I'm going to tie my bow on this side. And there we go. I'm not so sure how Jimmy would have felt about all the pink on this. All right, so here is my Buffett billfold based on Dear Julie Julie's 6-pack flip-flop. Untie the bow, the closure. Oops, and I had it upside down. You might want to decorate it in such a way that you can tell which way is the top and the bottom. All right, and so let's see. If it's tied like this, and we open it up, and we've got the front, open it up, we've got a pop top, and a pop top, and a flip-flop, and a pop top. There we go. I'm happy with that. I think that I may actually even be able to use this little thing in a journal that I'm working on, because it does happen to have a lot of pink in it. My bows need so much help all the time. All the time. How about we leave it at that? I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll try it. Give it a try and let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions on the places where I got stuck. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, be kind. Bye.